Fear and change. What stops me from changing? Fear. Yeah. So, more fear, less courage. Less courage, less change. Bad choices or non-constructive choices. I don't like that good and bad situation. I tend not to use it. It's so judgmental. Fear and change. So if I need to change, if I need to stop being the asshole that I am, then I need to love with less fear, especially myself. How do I love myself with less fear? How do I even know I love myself? See, this is a very important question. You know, there's so many things I have taken for granted in my life. Just information, you know. It is assumed that I love myself. It's assumed that I love my mother. It is assumed that I love everybody, my kids, blah, blah, blah. But how do I know? How do I verify it? How do I confirm it? If I have to confirm it, how will I confirm it? Not just having the name. I think it's the feeling that you have. But that feeling itself is conditional. The feeling has its own set of conditions. The affinity you have for somebody else comes with its own set of conditions. Yeah? So we'll put it like that. The feeling is conditional. So love is somewhat conditional. Maybe oversimplification. I wrote about this in my last book. But I've taken that for granted. I just assumed that I did. But I didn't reinforce the feeling in order to confirm that I did. I didn't feel. I just carried on doing the routine, you know. So I guess it's time to actually start feeling again. Feeling with a deep sense of honesty. That sounds very cliche. Feel real. Less cliche. Or maybe more, who cares? But it's time to feel for real. To be able to analyze the feeling that you have. Not intellectually, to analyze it based on truth. So if I have a reservation for myself, something that I do, a part of my character that I can observe just based on the sensibility that I have and the experience that I have, I can observe that particular part of my character and say, hey, this ain't good. You can improve this. But I have to accept that I have this first. That's where the fear comes in. The acceptance. That's where the fear comes in. So many things about me that I'm afraid to accept because it verifies my assholeness. You know, really confirms it that you're a proper one. And I want to see myself as, you know, you always want to look in the mirror and see something that you want to convince your spirit you're proud of. That's the only way I can put it. Okay? I like what I see when I look in the mirror. I like what I see. I appreciate what I see. I accept what I see. I don't quarrel with that. But the acceptance is based on more physical than the totality. See? I'm still at war with myself, in some manner of speaking. I guess that's why I like to do these things, these lives, and I used to do the podcast and still do, and share Just basically bullshit that comes into my head. There's no format to me. It's just how to find truth, how to find a deeper sense of purpose. I mean, we were all created to do something. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I was created. I didn't create me. But whatever created me or whatever put together the puzzle did it because it had an intention. You don't make things without it having some kind of function. The universe doesn't create things that are functionless or without purpose. Everything created must have purpose, must have a function. And that function has to not only fit in with the item itself, but with everything. So it's a macrocosm type situation. So your function has to play along with your environment, your universe, everything about you is here because it serves a greater purpose as well as an individual purpose. Now, when you can identify the individual purpose, you can better understand the greater purpose. This is where I am. And I've listened to a lot of people. I've read books, meditated, mantra, dantrad, and kantrad, and it opens pathways. I guess maybe I'm not as disciplined as some of those people who can, kundalini themselves to death. But I don't think it has to do with that. Because there's so many different processes. Everything about the universe is simple. When there's so many different processes, it gets confusing, just like religion. There's so many religions all praying to the same divine, yet they're always fighting amongst each other. Everybody's right. And nobody's actually thinking about what the purpose of the religion is. It's just about the representation of the religion. So, quite a few things that I'm reanalyzing. I looked at it from a different perspective. I have looked at it from different perspectives over the years. Now, like I said, 51, I'm kind of like looking at it from, because I'm closer to my end. You see, you start to change the way you see things when you're closer to the end. Start to see things differently. You start to wonder, what's going on? Where am I going? And what's the purpose of all this? Because, okay, I've made a little bit of money. I've had failures and successes, whatever you want to define as a success, that is. I have been able to afford some of my conveniences and inconveniences. I have done quite a few things. Most of all, I am a father. That's the greatest accomplishment for me, anyway. Father, husband, businessman, you name it, I've been it. But the thing is, at the end of the day, even with all of that cauldron of experiences, all of that wealth of experiences that I've had, doing so many things, being in so many places, living in different places, experiencing different cultures, traveling extensively, there's still something missing inside of me. I'm not talking about anybody else, just me. There's something missing inside of me. There's something, it's like an itch. There's something, is almost like something I'm supposed to do, but I don't know what it is. And I feel like if I'm doing it, then I'd scratch that itch. But I can't, for the life of me, understand exactly what it is. And we can interpret in different ways. A lot of people have told me, oh, you're not doing altruistic work, or you're not giving enough, you're not blah, 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 blah. Everybody has their own. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's entitled to one. But I think every individual has to do their own journey, so to speak. You have to find out yours. So I'm finding out mine. I'm discovering. I've taken a lot of time off, relaxing, clearing my mind, trying to work out shit in my head, documenting, making audio tapes about thoughts, feelings, philosophies, expressions, whatever is coming into my head. I'm writing again. So I'm learning again about me. And I hope at the end of this, no, not at the end, because at the end I won't be able to do anything, I'll be dead. As I progress, I should be able to document and share what I learn. Not because I don't want you to do your own, but because you might be able to get some insight get some value from the experiences that I've had, Other people have done it and I get value from them, so why not? Maybe that's my purpose. Who knows?